Welcome to Whiskey Vault.
This, I don't know who gave it. So if it's you, comment.
Yeah.
And Rex will read it
The unnamed bastard.
and reply. Because I really wanted to do this bottle, and I've been putting it off, thinking like maybe I'll find a label or a sticker that fell, or and I finally just was like, F it, we're gonna do it because I really wanted to try it. Hey, this is the cork that we might be forced to use on our small bottles.
It's the most cheap,
It's the
dinky,
cheapest.
It's impressive. It's
Everyone else who's reached out to us is like, yeah, that's a great cork. You're right. We also love it. You can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
And Andalusia just started.
Really?
Yeah, because they were having a hard time finding.
This is like the most dinky. I mean, I do like it's synthetic cork.
Yeah.
Fine. But look at the profile.
No, I know.
It's really cheap plastic. Soda.
So many of the craft
cola,
guys are like, look, we
Coca-Cola
just need to bottle shit.
Yeah.
We'll use what we can get our hands on. So this is West Cork. This, man, I keep having the hiccups.
Do you want me to punch you?
No.
That helps.
No. We've done West Cork before. I'm looking for W. There they are. We did one recently that was a bog oak charred. Remember that? Where they took the barrel and they burned bog oak wood and smoke. Yeah. This is that same. So it's a whiskey.
Right.
And then they
Peat
charred the cask. So they burned, I'm guessing, Irish peat.
Right.
And it's a single malt. The question is, can you tell that they put it into a cask that was burnt again, but this time with peat?
Already knows it.
Oh,
Go ahead.
that is barnyardy.
Barnyardy?
Yeah.
Barnyardy?
Yeah, that is. You could definitely smell the peat smoke. It's oily.
Okay, let me put it this way.
Huh.
I think there's been 2 bottles now. You and I are on very different wavelengths.
Right.
Because I'm finding not the barnyard, not the peat. I'm finding maybe one of us does have COVID.
Uh-oh.
I'm finding the dripping, syrupy, sweet tart kind of.
Yeah, no, and I get that too. Back as the base, like way down there, this undercurrent of sweet malt and fruit.
Yeah.
But
and candied fruit.
Coating the whole top of it
Yeah.
is this sort of pungent smoke note.
No, I'm not getting the pungent smoke note. I wonder, do you think maybe I had Loki Rana?
Is possible.
Could I have Loki Rana?
Because that
fine.
sweet note is a bigger note, and the bog note is a smaller note.
I feel fine. Like
Or
I
the
got
peat note.
Yeah. I feel fine though. And I can smell. It's not like I can't smell. Wouldn't that suck if Rona deleted just a spectrum of
Yeah, they're like,
nose?
and you don't need this anymore.
And you can't taste chocolate anymore.
yeah. Oh, you're like, cherries? And that's
no.
gone.
Oh, it's on the taste. There it goes. Was not getting that on the nose.
And it is charred. It is oily smoke charred.
Like it's above that foundation of this fruity sweetness.
Like you could imagine that
oily.
when the smoke was burning, it's that black smoke.
Yep.
Right? Like we ever drive by someone's property and you
that's
see
the finish, yeah.
like really black and they're like, they're doing a trash burn. Like that's not.
That is the finish too. That's the bit that clings.
Wow.
And whatever kind of fruity, candied, syrupy sweetness you were getting from the malt, that's gone, and you're left with this oily peat smoke. But you're a peat guy.
I know, but it's wrong. It's how do I explain it? It's not the richness of peat or the pepper of peat. It's the oily, the thing that you would like wipe your finger off the soot on the side smoke.
Okay.
You know, like
it's the residue.
Like when a candle burns too heavy on a
Yeah,
glass
yeah,
and you
yeah.
get black marks.
So it's not that peaty, rich body.
Yeah.
It's the residue that a peaty thing would leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm going to show you because Conmara is Irish peat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I like it.
And Conmara does it subtly.
So I will say this. I think I like that peaty soot residue.
Yeah, soot is the right word. Yes.
That's the soot, yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
I think I'm more okay with it than you are.
Yeah.
What I'm not necessarily a fan of is the way that the peat and that fruity sweet
Are fighting.
They don't. It's not complementary. It's not even a nice contrast. It's just it feels like they're on very different channels and they can't really line up.
It's almost like, have you ever had a mold problem on wood and then painted over it anyway?
No.
Yeah, so sometimes in bathrooms you'll find bad jobs where they're trying to like reno a bathroom,
Right.
and you'll have like kind of water stained kind of areas. And instead of like stripping and cleaning it and staining it and then or sealing it, they'll just like, fuck it, let's paint over it. And then it starts bleeding through, right? So other times you'll see this. Actually, this is exactly what this is. Go to our new bar, and we knew this would happen. We did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But we used treated lumber
Yeah.
on the new bar, on the poles, because water and whiskey being poured and shit like that. But then we stained it.
Yeah.
But if you look to the side, you can see the treated stuff kind of oozing through, bleeding through the stain. It's not lick touch, right? But it's visual.
Okay.
And it looks like you just tried to cover something up, right? But Conmara,
that is the kind of
is
peat
cohesive.
where it's actually intrinsic. It's in the body itself.
Yes.
It is that character of peat that isn't the residual note.
No, it's like a gold vein in a rock wall in a mine.
And it
threaded
works,
through.
It works more nicely with the sweeter elements.
And see, it's a richer peat, but it doesn't dominate.
Yeah, it is.
This is less peat,
yeah.
but it dominates.
This is less peat, but it dominates. This is, well, hold on a second. The finish, I think, it's as strong because the peat is what leaves you. This, again, on the nose, I was getting no peat on this nose.
No.
Definitely peat on the taste. You were saying this
sweeter.
is... And sweeter. You were saying this is less peat?
This is more peat, but presents less aggressively.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you would say, this is peatier,
yeah.
but it's not as harsh.
And it feels like it's working well with the things that are not peat.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I always like the Conmara. It's one of the very few Irish peat releases you can point to, and is good, wonderfully. I like the fact that West Cork did a peated thing.
Yeah.
I'm curious as
Kudos
to,
for trying.
I'm curious as to how the peat character would come through if it wasn't a peat charred cask, because I think that sooty quality that we're talking about, I mean, that's what they did.
Yep.
It's peat, soot, peat residue around there.
Yeah.
But I like that they're working with peat. That's cool. Andrew Ng. Do you? Sorry, I don't want to say his name. Do you ever test the proof of the whiskeys you're tasting? Been tempted to. Some of those.
Like when you go out to a bar or you.
Well, I'm thinking maybe in here. Often you will say that something drinks significantly lower or higher than the proof marked on the bottle. That's true. Is it possible that it's not what's marked? Also, how much does the shelf life after opening a bottle affect the proof? That's not going to be a big effect.
Yeah. Shelf life, that won't change much unless something's wrong.
We do often say that this drink's softer or it's got more robust, rich flavor than the proof. I don't think we've ever actually tested.
No, typically there's an explanation for it when they tell you how they made it. Like
Right.
it's cask strength, it's a pot still or something like that. But it would be interesting, although expensive, to have a tool that we could just spot check things. I mean, $3,000. That's the entry level quality.
Anton Par.
Yeah.
So
do we want to know $3,000 worth? I don't feel like I do.
But whenever you are releasing a whiskey, legally there's a little bit of a grace in the proof.
Yeah,
but it's not much.
You can be off by several proof. So you could say this is 100, and you could be off by it could be 98, but it can't be like you said it was 100 and it's 85. Right? That's no good. And when we're bottling, John will check regularly throughout the run. We'll do spot checks constantly throughout the run.
I like the idea of maybe there was a new way to play with the barrel. You just not necessarily smoke the grain, but you smoke the barrel. Right. I mean, that's a fun idea because it opens up a lot of opportunities. Further down the process, maybe you don't do something early, but you still want to get like a smoky element in there. If this is an indicator of how the smoke presents, though, I don't know if I'm in love with that process.
So here's the thing that I think might be, I don't know how they did this.
Yeah.
So it tastes more. So when you rechar a barrel, which they'll refresh, so an STR barrel is shaved toast rechar. That means you get a used barrel. It's so used that it's worthless.
Right.
You take the head off, you scrape it, toast it, and then char it again, and you kind of refresh it. If when you're doing that, you rechar, then the flame has direct contact with the wood. This tastes like the flame didn't have direct contact with the wood, but the smoke did.
Okay.
It tastes smoked instead of charred. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind
so
of...
I would be more interested in a peat fire.
It's more akin to, because I think you can tell the difference whenever you have the grain smoked and then it goes through the entire process. You're making the cuts, you know what flavors of the smokiness you want to keep and leave out. I think that kind of smoky character is similar to the kind of smokiness that we get out of a smoked cocktail.
Yeah.
Whenever they put it under a glass.
Like a veneer.
So
I would be interested if taking the peat, you built a fire big enough that the flames charred the barrel instead of just the smoke. That would be interesting. And I mean, that may be what they did, but it didn't taste like it.
Chris Chillingsworth, man, this video is showing its age. Eagle Rare as a budget bourbon. Gotcha. I miss
so many of our early days videos were like, hey, this isn't great, accessible.
Right.
And then now.
Which, man, I mean, one of the things that I wish we could add to all of our Vault episodes is a universally recognized price point. But even if there was a source for pricing that everybody says, okay,
that's pretty stable.
Website, that's going to be the place. A few years later, who knows what the price is going to be?
Yep.
But the value proposition angle, I mean, I think it's an important part of the conversation. Yeah. A lot of people are trying to figure out, is that going to be worth my money? But the pricing you can get from region to region, place to place, website to website, it's going to be so different. So different, and then you look at it a few years later, Eagle Rares.
And I'm like, oh, damn.
On budget list. Yes, keep playing with it. Maybe we'll get a different result someday. But damn the Connemara, if you want some Irish Peat, here's fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal your liver's heart.
If you drink,
may you drink it.